Welcome back to my Triangle Strategy Hard New Game Plus LTC. Here's Chapter 11. Chapter 11 has us face off against two split groups of enemies, each led by a pretty bulky boss. Some reinforcements also spawn near Silvio's group, meaning that we have to dedicate Medina and our AoE attackers towards his side while leaving everybody else to deal with Rufus's group. Since Silvio's side ends up having to basically hog Medina to keep uptime on their expensive AoE skills, this ends up being one of the few chapters that we choose not to deploy Benedict. Since everyone on Rufus' side is so TP starved and they need to keep using their TP skills, none of them would really be able to take advantage of a potential twofold turn. Normally, this chapter encourages you to sit atop the high ground and slowly pick off enemies as they try to advance towards you. This is further encouraged by these wall-jumping rogues that try to block your way from getting off the tower. We don't really have time to slowly pick these enemies off as they approach us, so Rudolph's going to help us clear the way with his staggering arrow. The downside to this is that since the rogue is no longer there, Jerome's AI kind of freaks out and doesn't know what to do, so he just wanders around aimlessly, which is pretty unfortunate as I need him to move forward while not occupying a specific tile that Archibald needs to go to. These rogues are also pretty annoying to deal with as they have 62 evasion, so Roland and Serenoa don't really have great hit rates on them. Thankfully in this case, Roland only needs to hit one of either his opportune attack or rush.
So, it falls to me. This is everything I've got.
The flames consume you. I hope you're watching.
Narve's going to do something pretty unexpected. He's going to be playing the role as bait in order to draw an archer closer and put Rufus in a much more favorable position. This may seem unintuitive since he's a squishy mage, but that just goes to show how powerful the Resurrection Earring is.
Count on me. Here you go.
Appreciated.
Here you go.
My thanks.
Had Roland missed one of his opportune attack or rush against the rogue earlier, Ezana's Rite of Wind here would have finished him off. I didn't actually realize this until after recording, which is pretty unfortunate as it means I could have replaced one of Serenoa's Strength Bracelet with an Accuracy Bracelet. With reinforcements about to spawn, Maxwell needs to head back to Medina in order to charge up another high jump. Medina has to recharge everyone's TP from the same tile that she's standing on, as she has to accelerate her upcoming turn. This forces Maxwell to traverse, which would normally make him unable to high jump even after double items, but since he backbaited Silvio into that position, he's able to get that TP back by throwing a Windstone.
I will end this.
Frederica is going to start preparing a Sunfall to hit the reinforcements, even though she only has 4 TP. One of the underrated upsides to Sunfall being a charge move is that she can start charging it without full TP, and then somebody else can come along and get her to 5 TP before she releases it. Thanks to Narve baiting Rufus over, we're able to have Roland and Serenoa advance towards Silvio's group while attacking Rufus on the way, allowing them to help contribute to cleanup later on. Additionally, Roland and Serenoa's positioning allows for all of our TP start units to gather into such a formation that will allow Medina to restore their TP in one go.
Defeat is not an option. Death from above! You bastard! That hit the mark. That stinks. Time to end this. Dreadfully slow. Prepare to die.
Maxwell's position was important not just for Medina's ranged pellets, but also for baiting this mage into using Fierce Wind from this specific tile. If it weren't for that, not only would he have used Spark, which has an annoying chance to paralyze us, but he also would have done it from a position that's outside of our AoE attacks formation.
Prepare to die. You will not leave here with your lives.
On my honor as the Dawn Spear. All shall yield before my spear.
I'll do my utmost.
As you may have noticed, Silvio ended up moving out of reach of Maxwell's high jump. Thankfully, Rudolph's going to make sure he at least still gets caught by Glacial Moon and Sunfall by pushing him into formation with Staggering Arrow. Now, I don't know who decided Silvio needed to have 65 evasion, but I certainly have some choice words for them. Not only did Rudolph have to hit that 83% Staggering Arrow, but Roland now has to come and hit this not so nice 69% for dragons.
For my people, it's over me.
The flames
Because Silvio used TP Break on Frederica, her Sunfall actually ends up falling short of a couple kills, so Narve's going to have to come in and finish them off.
consume my
This is a bit of a blessing in disguise, as it means we'll be moving Narve into such a position that will give Serenoa his Strength in Numbers passive, which ends up making the difference in securing this healer kill. Archibald and Ezana clean up the remaining enemies, and that's going to be Chapter 11 completed in 32 turns.